1 second. I gotta say one more thing. And so this is what I expected for this Jeff Keighley award moment. I don't know. It's not an award. Jeff Keighley reveals. I thought on this episode of Jeff Keighley reveals, we were gonna at the very end have Hideo walk out, and then Jeff would follow him out. Hideo Kojima. I thought Jeff was gonna follow him out, and then like Jeff was gonna like get down on his knees and like essentially take off his pants and just go to town. I thought that's what we were gonna get because we've gotten that every year.
Yeah,
prior.
And then we get the hub logo fade in the top right.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 196 of Talking Rad.
See, look, you're peeking. I don't peek ever.
We are your hosts. That's just me being a bad talker.
I don't understand. Your voice is the weirdest, by the way.
It's because I go from really low to really high. I
Sometimes
think my vocal range is
Sometimes
not
he'll
great.
sound like this. Then he'll sound like this.
Zane's also kind of weird, too. He just peeked right there, but, like, he doesn't normally peek. I just have the same... I guess I've just,
You're
like,
normal.
I just use the same tone the entire time I talk.
I don't peek because I'm always quality.
I peek because I'm always peak. Get it?
This guy's a Fortniter, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a Fortniter. He's a Zoomer. He uses Zoomer words.
Why do you use Zoomer words thing?
No,
What were you saying,
I'm like
Skyrim?
50 years old.
I had a topic that I wanted to talk about right away.
Well, the intro. Hold on. You didn't finish the intro. I cut you
Oh,
off.
episode 196 of Talking Rad.
Yeah.
We are your hosts.
Hello. You gonna introduce us?
This is Fortnite. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! And
I hate Fortnite.
am Naked Man.
Yeah, I'm Naked Man.
Could you call me VTuber Man?
No, we can't.
We're wanting you to cut back. It's like if I were to call an alcoholic.
And we want me to put more time into Yu-Gi-Oh. So he called me Yu-Gi-Oh.
Calling the pot black or whatever. The kettle calling the pot black, I see.
Isn't the pot meets kettle? I don't freaking know the thing.
No.
See, that's like beyond boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skylar's naked, if you can't tell. I don't know if it's picking up very well on the camera.
Let me give you the shorts, too.
If his pants were, or if his shirt was the same color as his shorts and slightly like a little bit darker, then it'd be like...
Then you wouldn't be able to tell.
You want to know something real boomer about me? I listen to audiobooks at work.
I think it's really cool that you do that, actually.
Yeah.
What's
I
the
don't think Zoomers ever have read a book in their life.
What would the difference be?
I read books. Hey, I read a book after school. It was one book.
What would the difference be between listening to a podcast and a book?
The Zoomer version?
Oh, there's different versions.
No, I'm just
of the
asking.
answer?
I don't know what your question really was. Can you start over?
What would the difference be between listening
Have
to?
your hand on my shoulder. Jeez.
I was gonna see how long you'd let me leave it there. Very long time. You could go back and
thought you were
rewatch that YouTube users.
I thought you were gonna take it off eventually, but you're just like,
Was it getting warm?
yeah. I was like, okay, get
Okay,
enough.
okay.
What was the difference?
What's the difference between listening to a podcast and listening to an audiobook?
Not much.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking what is the Zoomer version of listening to a podcast and an audiobook.
Oh, I
I don't know what the Zoomer version is. I was gonna say
just having TikTok on loop in your
TikTok on
pocket.
loop that like auto scrolls maybe.
I guess.
I don't know what Zoomers listen to.
Yeah, I don't know what Zoomers listen to either.
I had a topic that I wanted to talk about right away. That's kind of
Well, they
why I
listen to,
started
like-
the intro.
Well, they listen to like the impulsive podcast or something.
Are you like looping into you forgot the topic?
Well, I have forgotten it. I'm trying to remember. Sometimes trying to like force push my way into the brain. Sometimes it works.
I
Listen
know
to Tiny Meat
before we
Gang.
started the show, we were slightly talking about Jeff Keighley's massive bulge a little bit.
I didn't notice that.
Wait, you didn't?
No.
Oh, man,
I
he's
don't.
packing.
I don't look down at the crotch.
He's packing, my guy.
You think I always look at
Packing.
crotch?
You got Keighley
That says more about
freaking
you than
balls
me.
just dragging on the ground like a donkey nut. No, I didn't look at his bulge. Actually, hot take, I don't like Jeff Keighley.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, what do you not like about him?
I don't know. He's
mean-
just too good.
Oh,
he's a good
oh,
presenter,
it's
but
jealousy. It's not that you don't like
Maybe
him.
jealousy. He's a handsome man. I don't know how he got to where he is. He kind of just lucked into the position.
I think
Somehow
he's
he just
been a
started-
game journalist, hasn't he?
Is that what he started as?
He started as like a journalist on like Spike TV stuff.
Wasn't
like
he
when
on
they're doing their
X-Play? Or
not
G4?
X-Play. It was when Spike TV was doing game stuff.
And then one day he decided, hey, I'm going to start a game award. And then
Yeah.
after that, everybody started
So
looking
it happened
to him as the game authority.
Yeah. So it happened after he moved away from Spike and he took that Game Awards with him, like because they had the Spike TV Game Awards.
Yeah, the Spike TV Game Awards. I watched that on G4.
Yeah. I remember that
Wait,
celebrity.
on Spike TV, I mean.
Yeah. They had celebrity
Dumb.
hosts, and I remember one year they had Samuel Jackson. And so. What are you guys looking at?
He was pointing at the
I was
camera.
pointing
Oh.
at the camera, not young Jamie.
Oh. So, yeah, after that, after Jeff Keighley decided to leave, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna continue this online. There's the Game Awards.
Yeah. Anyway, looping back, he just kind of lucked into everything. He just went with it, and now everybody looks to him as the authority on video games, essentially.
I don't think so. I don't.
And
see
then,
it.
like, 1 second, I gotta say one more thing. And so this is what I expected for this Jeff Keighley award moment. I don't know, it's not an award. Jeff Keighley reveals. I thought on this episode of Jeff Keighley reveals, we were gonna at the very end have Hideo walk out, and then Jeff would follow him out. Hideo Kojima. I thought Jeff was gonna follow him out, and then like Jeff was gonna like get down on his knees and like essentially take off his pants and just go to town. I thought that's what we were gonna get because
blow
we've gotten
him.
that every year.
Yeah.
prior.
And then we get the hub logo fade in the top right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Skylar.
Do we know if Jeff Keighley just walked into it, or has he worked incredibly hard? This is an honest question. I have no idea.
Oh, he probably worked hard.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discredit the amount of effort he's put into these things. I'm just saying it's interesting how everybody just looks at him as
as the game authority.
This guy is the guy. He does the Game Awards. Now he's E3. We love him and we respect everything he says, and what he says is law.
He just showed me a picture of Jeff Keighley off screen. It's flashing it.
I do.
Also, I noticed that there are bird turds on those stairs over there.
You
No,
noticed?
those are paint.
Oh, okay.
You
I thought
nerdist.
those.
I
I noticed.
Or are you thinking
I
bird
noticed.
turds because my car has bird turds? We're not in a garage.
Well, I thought a bird flew in here one time and just went all over.
So going back to, everybody does see Jeff Keighley as the gamer god.
Yeah.
I have never seen it that way.
Yeah,
I just think it's fun. I think it's really fun that there is an individual willing to put up with all the BS that people give him and do stuff like this.
Fair.
But I don't see it as anything more than just entertainment.
Yeah, I just see him as like a presenter, like Bob Barker.
He's like a host.
Yeah, or like what's his name? Dick Clark. Oh, look, it's Dick Clark rocking New Year's Eve. Like,
Oh, it's Drew Carey.
Drew
Would you
Carey.
guys like to
No,
hear-
wait. Sorry, let me give the modern version. It's Ryan Seacrest New Year's Eve. He's like the Ryan Seacrest of games, pretty much.
Would you guys like to hear my my final theory about Jeff Keighley so we can move on to a different topic?
Uh-huh.
He's a clone of Ryan Seacrest.
Get your tinfoil hats on, everybody. This is
I'm
my
going to take
theory.
notes.
Jeff Keighley, that's his name, right?
Yes.
I said it, and for some reason I thought that's not his name.
It's Jeff Keebler.
Jeff Keighley doesn't actually like video games. I think it's just the act. I think he just like, man, I've been running this for the past 15 years. I need to just keep going. I don't even like games, but hey, it's making me money to pretend I like games.
Are you saying like 90% of journalists, he doesn't like video games?
No, I don't know about the journalists. I'm just talking about Jeff Keighley himself. He like gets on stage like, I've been playing this game for months. It's so freaking good, guys. You guys are gonna love it. And then he shows it, and it's freaking like a coffee bean jerking off or something like that. And I'm just all like, Jeff Keighley doesn't like video games. He doesn't even play them. He's lying. He's lying.
I mean, he does have live streams where he talks about shows.
Yeah, it's his job to live stream and pretend he likes video games.
Can
Just
I-
like our job on this podcast is to pretend we like each other.
Well, I think it's time to come out.
Of the
I effed your girlfriend.
In 4K.
This man
In Minecraft.
Stop him. Oh, okay,
Object.
That's fine. I'll allow it in Minecraft. It's just role play.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback off of your theory, and I'm going to take it a little to the left. Jeff Keighley doesn't hate video games. He hates gamers, and he's learned that
Just
over the
like-
years,
Just
gamers
like 90% of the, journalists.
gamers suck, and everybody that is involved with the video game industry and the video game culture know that gamers suck. We are a strange breed that no matter what you do, we will always bitch.
Fair.
And then there'll be people who bitch about gamers.
And I think that the gamers will leave a salty taste in the Jeff Keighley's of the world. to where they probably will eventually hate video games, but it is simultaneously attached to the gamer.
It's like the natural progression. Well,
That's my theory.
now that we have our thoughts about Mr. Keeley's wang out of the way, we can progress to the actual topic that Skylar wanted to present to us that he remembered so easily, just like that.
Yeah,
Isn't
just
that
like
crazy?
that, came right back. It's not back.
Oh my goodness
oh my
gracious.
lord. Well,
They've
guess-
got something
I guess
for
I could
us.
talk more about video game reveals this year and how, like, you know, they got the big ones. They got the Summer Games Fest. You know, that's the big all-around one. Then there's PlayStation, and then Xbox, then sometime this month probably Nintendo. I saw Sony's one. They usually, for other years, they usually have a PlayStation showcase. Like, this is our biggest ones. But this year, they did a State of Play. And State of Plays are known for being pretty lackluster. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes they hit. Other times, it's just like, hey, here's a game coming out. Here's some games coming out. Just throw them out there. This year's State of Play it wasn't good. It was very flat, very lackluster. Said, oh, hey, Ragnarok's coming to PC.
Ooh, thank God.
Yeah.
Is God of War 2018 on PC already?
Yes, it's already on PC. And that was the big one. And then they had like, oh, here's 2 Souls-likes, one from China, one from Korea. It's like, that's cool. And then their last big reveal, which people were excited for something for some reason, was a new Astrobot game. And I was like, cool. Astrobot.
I gotta say, people love Astrobot though.
I don't get it.
There's-
I've played the PS5,
Well,
amazing
okay.
technical demo.
So-
I played the PS5 game.
So the game that you haven't played, the VR one,
Yeah.
that's the one. People fell in love with Astrobot because
Okay.
of that game.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm out of the loop. I don't see the hype. It
Yeah, I
could
don't
be a
either.
good
It's a
game.
platformer. They suck.
It could be a good game. It's just like the PS5 Astrobot. There's a lot of cameos. I don't know. Kind of should have started with that, and then they should have left off on like a big game. But it wasn't much. I can't remember very much. Like, I think they had something about Monster Hunter, and then later Summer Games Fest also had Monster Hunter. But yeah, it wasn't a great show. And then we got and then there were a few indie. They're always, every year, they're just like games to show off indie games, because, you know, indie games are kind of like taking over the industry. And there's some cool stuff. I can't remember any off the top of my head. But then they had Summer Games Fest, and I found it kind of lackluster. There were some cool things, like a game from Capcom called Kinitsugami, which when I saw it on the Xbox presentation like a couple years back, I thought, whoa, that's so cool. It's like Okami, like with the Japanese, feudal Japanese setting. And then they gave a surprise release date of July 16th, and I was like, yo, hope it's not rushed. But it looks amazing, and that's one I was
that
excited.
the Dark Souls looking one?
No, it's the one where it's like it's got this guy samurai with a mask, and then he's like commanding troops to fight, and then there's this priest lady.
Maybe I fell asleep during that part of
Okay,
the
well, you can look up a
presentation.
trailer later, but I think it's gonna be cool. That's
Because of that game,
Yeah.
but because of the entirety of
Yeah.
Mr. Keeley's bulge.
Oh, his bulge not.
Okay.
That's a superpower.
It wasn't
knocked you out.
entertaining enough.
It used sleep powder.
Hit that
That's-
60% chance.
that's funny
Crazy.
because that's a Capcom game, and the only other Capcom game I was excited for this year, but this one I didn't know was going to come out this year, so now I'm excited for it this year, was Dragon's Dogma 2. So both those games from Capcom, and because Capcom's just been really good lately. I know they've been greedy, like with Dragon's Dogma 2, but game's still quality, and I hope this game's quality. I hope they don't like. They probably are, but I hope they don't shove it with so much microtransactions that people are gonna like instantly judge the game. Like Resident Evil 4 and 2 had microtransactions, but people were like, whatever. But yeah, I still think it's dumb to put microtransactions single player game. But that's enough of my. I don't remember much of the other.
I buy the horse
game
armor
showcase, but maybe Skylar remembers.
You're part
it.
of the problem.
Maybe Skylar remembers some things.
yeah, Skylar remembers it.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of the games that I thought were really cool, but what I really wanted to talk about, I remembered, by the way. And this
Yay!
kind of can go back full circle, is going back to how gamers bitch about stuff, and people bitched about the Summer Games Fest. As they always do, no matter what. Game reveals and state of plays and Nintendo Directs. Everybody's always going to be pissed.
Even if it's like the best presentation ever, it's got banger after banger. People are like, you're going to still see in chat, whether they're trolling or not, be like, presentation sucked, L presentation or whatever. It's
L.
like, yeah.
And here's the thing is, and I guarantee you, I mean, not all devs, but most devs, I shouldn't even say most devs. I'm just going to say this and hopefully it works. It doesn't matter because it's a very small minority of gamers that are up on the news, that watch these directs, that even participate in the communities, because you've got way more people that are buying FIFA and Call of Duty every single year, giving EA and Activision hundreds of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't participate, I would say, in the gaming community and culture as a whole, comparatively. So the people like us, which were obviously involved in the gaming community a lot more than the average human being, it doesn't matter. We're such a small percentage. And I guess my question to you guys is, what do you think that percentage is that is involved in the community compared to they don't give an F, they see an ad for a game and go buy it? They're the yearly FIFA buyers.
The percentage of casuals versus enthusiasts.
Yeah.
We're probably in like the 1 or 2%, honestly.
I would say so too.
Yeah, that's like a percentage of people who play video games. It's probably like, say, like 90% casual. So
when take the Microsoft like the layoffs, the controversy that happened a couple weeks ago with Xbox. Sure, they care and they try to appease the small minority that's actually paying attention. Most people don't care. You think the 35 million subscribers to Game Pass even know? They couldn't even name one developer of any game. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but the vast majority of them. Nobody knows who develops FIFA. They know EA publishes them.
It's some kind of division. I can't tell you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I can't tell you because I personally don't care, but I could tell you who develops, let's say.
Let's take this a step further. Let's just keep going into this. And once again, we fall in the minority of this, okay? Most people don't know who directs or produces movies or TV shows. Most people don't know the studios behind said TV shows or movies. Nobody knows. I shouldn't say nobody. The vast majority of people don't know who A1 Pictures is, or who Mappa is, or who Ufotable is.
I'm gonna put a little thing on the director one. I think there are some directors that have been able to become household names
Steven
sell
Spielberg.
their name, sell their movies with the name.
Steven Spielberg,
James Lucas,
James Cameron, Well, not really George Lucas. He's just the Star Wars guy.
Star Wars guy.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And then Michael Bay, explosion guy.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are probably like some of the most well-known because of the names. I bet there's... the reason I bring this is because of Quentin Tarantino. I think people hear he's doing a movie and they want to go watch it because it's him.
Right.
Yeah.
Not because they care about the movie at all.
Yeah, I would agree that those are the few outliers, but I would say for the majority of entertainment that is consumed, most people don't know anything about the people or studios behind them.
It's like Jeff at the McDonald's who makes our hamburgers for us. I go to McDonald's because I want Jeff to make my burger, not because I want Donna, but I want Jeff specifically to make the hamburger. So if I go in there and ask him, hey, is Jeff on the fryers? And they tell me no, I'm walking right out the door. It's the same exact situation, scenario.
Yeah. I don't think that's. I just go regardless.
Stop! Don't let him get away with that.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
That was brain stew that I could not wrap my head around.
I did the same scenario, but I put it in McDonald's instead of a movie theater.
So I'd say it's a more of like hairdresser. It's like, hey, is Donna in today? It's
I've
like,
actually been to a restaurant where if there wasn't a cook that I knew, I didn't want to eat the thing I always get because no one else at that restaurant knew how to make that thing as well as this person did.
I have never been to a restaurant enough to even get acquainted with the the cashier.
I will confess that I do know the owners of this restaurant, so I was able to know who makes the best version. And I promise you that they definitely made the best version.
Fair, very fair.
They don't work there anymore.
That's too bad. But anyway, yeah. So like when I see controversy or journalists making headlines or whatever, and like I've just come to the conclusion it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. We care. We would like the gaming industry to change, but at the end of the day, can't stop playing COD guy gives Activision $30, buys the skins. Gamers go buy V-Bucks. FIFA gets bought every year. NBA 2K, Call of Duty, just no matter what, it doesn't matter. So like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's sad. Will it get better? Man, fingers crossed.
Hey,
hope.
Here's the thing, Kai Cenat, that streamer guy, he did like a marathon of Elden Ring.
Who's Kai Cenat?
One of the most popular Twitch streamers.
Yeah.
One of those, like, I don't care at the end of the day who's playing the games. I just want to watch the games being played. That kind of guy.
No, it's more of, I just want to watch the guy. I don't care what he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. He's that kind of guy.
Oh.
Are you saying that you think he's going to sell Elden Ring copies by playing the game?
Probably.
He probably will. I think he has that much
There's
influence.
the DLC coming up, so people are going to buy that on top of the DLC.
Is he good looking?
You should just Google him.
I don't know. I'm not really into guys.
Well, is Skylar attractive? Is he an attractive man?
I don't know.
You can say yes or no. Then I won't.
He's gotten
Call
more
you
chicks
anything.
than I have, so I'll tell you most definitely yes.
That doesn't mean anything.
Cenat.
He's got it for you. Young Jamie.
Whoa, yeah, that's an attractive man.
Okay.
I spelled it wrong, but it still came up right.
He died like over like 100 times or something.
He's got a
1,000.
good shaped face, a well shaped.
He died
face.
over 1,000 times. Sorry.
Died?
Yeah, he died.
How? Oh, in Elden Ring.
In Elden.
Gosh.
What you talking about real life? Yeah, he
Sorry.
died over 1,000 times in real life.
We're talking about how beautiful he is. I forgot that it was started with Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I've died a couple times IRL. This is on my 17th life I'm on.
Are you in a light novel that got adapted
I'm an
to an
isekai
anime?
protagonist.
Nice.
Are you what Doctor Who alien, Gallifreyan? I think
No,
they're calling.
I just said I was an isekai protagonist thing.
Okay.
Not Doctor Who. That was one of my lives. I did respawn as Doctor Who in one of my
You're
lives.
one of his incarnations.
I was one of the incarnations, but I'm not actually Doctor Who. I'm not like the Avatar and my spiritual being moves on to the next body to inhabit it. It's just me personally.
Oh, but he's doing he's retenching the nut.
I'm
so
retenching it.
He's ascending.
My third eye, my pineal gland is wide open, and I'm like over to the next life when I die.
His nipples made an electric shock, and a gateway opened up into his chest.
So
Last life. This life, I'm still working on it. I got to build up.
So to go back to your question of is game changing, I think so. I think more people, younger people, are getting to games, and not just Madden, FIFA, or COD. I think they're getting more into like.
We should look up some statistics because I'm very curious as to. Because I'm convinced that gamers that play Madden and FIFA every year and Call of Duty don't play anything else.
Yeah.
I really am.
I think random weird games have never been more popular.
Especially indie games. Like indie games that are trying to channel those old PS2 weird and wacky games.
We know a handful of people that play games occasionally that don't normally play games, right?
Your brother, Slade.
My
you
brother.
got him into
He
Breath
played
of the Wild.
Yeah, he played Breath of the Wild and he played Tears of the Kingdom too.
I have you beat Tears of the Kingdom. What the hell's wrong with
yeah,
me?
dude, my freaking non-gamer brother beat you. He freaking kicked you
Oh
on the
my
ground.
god, I
started
clicked
stepping
the
on your
worst
neck.
website
He
ever
kicked my
invented.
ass.
Fandom is terrible. It's going to crash our computer.
Fandom, people keep using it and make wikis. Just use like one of the Wikimedia engine ones. Why don't people do that? I just want to go on a wiki, and the only one I can find is Fandom, because that's the only one people make. There's better ones out there, people. Just copy your code or your text, whatever, and put it in like one of those.
Fandom owns it.
The Wikimedia thing?
When you have a wiki on fandom, fandom owns the stuff for that.
That's so scummy.
Like the code or whatever. I don't know.
That's so scummy.
Yep.
So you need to make new code.
So I remember there was this. I think it was called. It was either Bulbapedia or it was Bulba Garden, but I want to say Bulba Garden was it like an old Pokemon Wikipedia thing. They sold to fandom. And then after a while, they're like, wow, this effing blows. And this is like years back. And so they were able to buy the rights back from fandom to do their own thing again.
That's Bulbapedia?
I don't know which one. I think it was Bulba Garden specifically.
Yeah, it's like, why can't people just realize, hey, this is a terrible engine that they're running on, site engine. Let's just go make our own. Like, and you don't, and like, they can just like, kind of like, they have to finagle it and make new words, but you don't own the information, so you can tell fandom to suck it. You just need to change up you just need to make a new code base, and that's hard.
So going back to what you mentioned, Thane, of like, is gaming changing for the better? I think in some aspects, yes.
Yeah.
People like us that, well, I guess I haven't really heard you complain much about it. I myself don't complain much about it either, although I understand the scumminess behind it. But like microtransactions, seems like whenever the minority of gamers like us hear microtransactions, it's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's a bad thing.
Like Dragon's Dogma 2, like people saw there were microtransactions, even though if you look, you don't need to buy any of them. But people were still like, what the hell? What?
I like microtransactions.
Ooh. Care to defend yourself?
Defend myself? What do you mean?
It's an opinion.
I mean, like, I don't really care for them in, like, single-player games or whatever, but, like, we're talking free-to-play multiplayer games, I'm completely down for them. If I'm playing a free-to-play game that I enjoy, I will give them money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I just
Plus,
don't...
I get cool-looking stuff for it.
Yeah. I just don't like when they get predatory. Like, when they say, hey, you want to progress, like... You're progressing so super slow that it's boring. Hey, you want to progress further? Buy this stuff, and it's like
yeah. It's
that's
like
when you quit the game.
That's Candy Crush days.
Yeah.
Like, those are bad.
That's when you quit the game. Don't give them your money.
It's like, oh, you want to buy lives? $5.
If you're progressing naturally and you're enjoying it, and you say, here's a skin for $500, that's the legal.
You know those like
thing.
stats they were always talking about, like when you die, you want to see the stats.
Yeah.
If I could choose one person other than myself stat and pick one stat, I would pick my mother's stat of how much money she spent on Candy Crush levels.
Oh, no.
You know what's sad about Candy Crush? And I cannot believe it worked. But that is a game. And a lot of mobile games used to do this. I don't know if they do now because I don't mobile game much anymore. But there were so many games out there that you had to pretty much pay to keep playing. Like, what kind of game...
Yeah, there was that
gatekeeps the player from playing.
Yeah, 3DS did a lot of that stuff too.
Did it?
They tried to, like, a lot of like the freeware on the 3DS. They don't try to make it so it's like you pay, but they try to make it so you can play a little bit at a time. And so like you load up and you play a little bit and then you come back the next day.
Pushimo?
I don't know. I don't know which one.
Pushimo, you had to buy the levels.
And then like, because the best example
there was
I have is
Street Pass, right?
Street Pass does
games,
it, yeah. There's one. The best example I have is one called. It's a Pokemon game, of course. It's a Pokemon Dream Radar, and that one. So to play a level in that, you had to spend these things called, I think it was just DS tokens or something like that, and you would get DS tokens. I think you would get like 100 every 24 hours, or you could walk around with your DS and use it like a pedometer. At every step, you would get a token. So if you shook it just right, you'd get so many tokens.
You see a bunch of kids just jacking off their DSs so they can play.
Yeah. But like, it's very funny that's kind of like that's an actual thing. But it's just one of those mobile game tactics they took, and I don't quite know why a DS would care about a mobile game tactic that they don't make any money off of. But here we are.
It's just crazy that it worked, and maybe because it was so novel back then. But it's like a game is literally putting up a paywall to say, if you want to keep having fun playing your game, give us money or you have to wait 3 hours.
Maybe it's like a weird FOMO tactic, right? Like maybe it's like, hey, you're going to miss out playing this game. It's pretty fun. We know you like it. You want to give us some money so you can play it more?
I mean, it worked, obviously. I don't know if Candy Crush still does that.
I'm sure they do, right?
Probably. I mean, this King is owned by Activision. I'm just gonna say that much.
All you need to know.
Yeah.
But they
And
made a good Gundam.
as
Gundam
much as
thing, Call of Duty.
Jamie in the back plays Call of Duty, he knows too.
Hey, Jamie, can you look that up? Can you look up if Candy Crush still charges you
I'm
to
pretty sure
play?
it does.
Like, you have to pay money to keep playing, or it times you out for like 3 hours. I remember how pissed off I was when I first learned that, because I was having a lot of fun with Candy Crush. But it's like, oh, you're out of lives, and there's a timer. It's like, okay, you have to wait an hour per life or whatever, 30 minutes. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. I deleted the game.
Yep.
Instantly deleted it.
I don't think Candy Crush was even a good freaking game. Bejeweled
Yeah,
was
it's
far
a
better.
it's a clone of Bejeweled, and Bejeweled 3 is like peak the match 3 genre.
It's really unfortunate because my mom's never really played video games much in her life.
Tell her to download Bejeweled 3.
And then she had a laptop when I was a lot younger that she had Bejeweled 2 on. She loved that freaking game so much. She played so much Bejeweled. And then Candy Crush came out, and that's where she got on Candy Crush. She doesn't do it anymore, but like I swear for like a good 2 years or so, she would be playing that game.
How much do you think she spent?
I don't know.
Ballpark.
Buy gold bars, and then each gold bar can help you get lives. But there's like
But there still is a life system.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like 10 gold bars are $3. 10 gold bars for $3. That's crazy. 4 gold bars will give you 1 life, and then like 12 will give you 5. So you buy gold bars, gold bars
bars.
buy you lives, and so that's
Yeah.
how Candy Crush still does it.
Yeah.
So. Dang, dude.
Gold bars.
Well, the thing is, too, and I think that I prefer this method better than literally blocking out the player, but I'm pretty sure that Candy Crush allows you to buy power-ups. I think you can unlock them naturally, but I think that they allow you to buy starting power-ups because some of those levels are freaking ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they just freaking life suck you.
I assume my mom spent money on levels occasionally. I don't imagine she spent too much. But, like, I remember asking her one time, or, like, I saw her just click on the button so she could get another life or whatever. And I asked her, like, do you do that a lot? And I don't remember what her response was. It was either, whenever I feel like it, or something like that.
It's just $1.
It's just
Wow.
$1.
It's just a clip. It's just, we're just pulling it's just a $5.
How many dollars does that eventually add up to, though?
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
my
the thing.
house mortgage.
Like I said, I don't know the exact number of what she spent, but, like, I can't imagine it was a crazy amount. But I could see it being a silly amount, not a crazy. Like, we're not talking like thousands.
Yeah.
But
Probably
I
a
could
couple
potentially
hundred.
see $100 or maybe
Yeah.
two. I don't know if that happened, but that's my guess.
It reminds me of that one thing where those kids were they were playing FIFA, and FIFA has, of course, like loot box things for players, and they wanted to get Lionel Messi. So they spend an absurd amount on their mother's credit card, which is, I think, like over $1,000 just to try to get Lionel Messi. And it's like, dang, that's the problem when you have like kids that it's like, oh, you get the mom's credit card, let's try to get Messi, and it's like
The 738th loot box they opened,
Yeah.
they're like, dang it, Messi's shoelaces again.
yeah. It's like, oh, that's the worst. I know they don't advertise it to kids, but you have to teach your kids don't play sports games.
So,
I mean, like, advertising kids is the
Yeah.
best way to make money.
Yeah, it is.
True. That's why the
That's why it's
loophole.
illegal.
Yeah. That's why the loophole they have on commercials is like, ask your parents' permission.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
So let's backpedal a little bit, and then we can come back to the microtransactions because that's like the modern way of video game monetization. But going back, and Cole and I had this conversation. I don't know if we had it on the podcast, but we were talking about how back in the day, this was like junior high, high school, when games like Call of Duty or Halo would release multiplayer DLC updates.
Map packs.
Yeah, and it would cost you $15. You'd get
Good old
five.
days.
You'd get 5 maps, and sometimes you would even get more guns in the later Call of Duty games. You could purchase more guns to add to the arsenal. They would come with that DLC that you would buy.
You could theoretically, in a sense, up your arsenal.
But nowadays, it's like gamers expect free DLC when it comes to free-to-play multiplayer games. Even like Call of Duty, you buy Call of Duty, but everybody expects those free updates when they add new maps,
Well,
new guns.
Let's go back to the free games, right? Like Apex Legends, for example. If a new map's coming out, you're not gonna have to pay for it. You don't expect you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing: is I think it's a good thing
Yeah,
because
totally.
going back to how we used to buy map packs, you're dividing the community now.
Yep.
You're dividing your player base, and so that's not a good thing.
I remember like playing like Halo 3 online with my buddies and being all like, oh, dude, I hate playing with freaking
They don't have
Hector.
sandbox.
He doesn't have the freaking sandbox. We had to play Foundry custom games.
Yeah.
Sandbox custom games are far better. Hector, just freaking get your mom's credit card, buy it.
Just buy Halo Reach, bro. It comes with it.
no, Halo 3 ODST.
Oh, Halo 3
Just
ODST.
buy
That
freaking
game was
ODST.
meant for, even though kids play it, that game was meant for adults because that's the one where they could buy the thing rather than having to tell your mom, Mom, I want to buy this new map pack.
What is something funny about ODST? I just remembered this freaking my memory blast from the past just hit me. It's so ODST, right? It came with the 2 discs. One was the Halo 3 multiplayer, and the one was the Halo 3 or ODST campaign. I was like, well, I already bought all the map packs, so I just went on eBay and found like the ODST campaign for like $13 or something, and I just bought the disc only. That's how I played it back in the day.
Yeah, nobody wanted to buy it on digital
I
because
was a
like,
real
oh,
gamer,
it
dude.
takes
He's
up.
a dab for the old school gamer Cole.
Nobody wanted to buy a digital copy because it's like, oh, it takes up space on my hard drive. Now every game's digital, so you don't care. No, JB, get on it right now.
It overheated. No, Jamie, don't do nothing. It overheated.
Sorry.
I was recording in 4K. It's really hot in here. That's
Yeah.
why.
It's super hot. It's super muggy. Sorry, we'll be back.
Well, I say we just. Do you want to pause or you want to just keep going, throw something over the top?
I guess we could throw something over the top.
Yeah, let's just throw something over the top. Just give the little
Yeah.
camera a break. It's not a big deal.
So, yeah, we're gonna cool the camera. Sorry, we're
That's good to know for the anime podcast, though.
Yeah, don't record in 4K.
Yeah, sweaty. We are sweating. If you don't.
Well,
if you
also
didn't
we
notice
record in the
Seth's
morning
face.
normally.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That also helps.
That will help.
I've noticed that like it's getting really hot in here, and it's because we're recording in the afternoon.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! The table fell over.
Oh man.
You
You should just what you should do, Thane. You should just like duplicate the footage and just put it over the top of it again.
so it
And
doesn't
so
line
it doesn't
up
match
at all.
up at all. We're just still talking. So if you're scrubbing through, it looks like it's the full.
Yeah.
Do that. And for
Okay.
people that are actually listening, there's the explanation why it looks wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
People are
welcome.
like, what the hell is going on?
They're gonna
They'd
be like, oh, it's cursed. Maybe we'll farm comments that way.
Yeah.
Your video's not lined up.
Somebody's watching a specific anime.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal one. We'll talk about it someday.
Yeah.
Maybe not on this show, but
So yeah, actually I mentioned it briefly, but I remember there was League of Legends. They're like, you could earn characters normally or you could pay for them. And then Riot Games, out of their cheekiness, were like, hey, let's make a skin $500 based off one of our best professional players. I think it was Faker. I think that's who it is.
$500?
Yeah, off a skin he play, like of a character he plays, and people were like, "Dude doesn't even use skins," but that shouldn't be relevant because like $500 for one skin, that's insane. That is crazy. That's worse than when Battle State Games with the developers of Tarkov charged $250 for a game mode.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the $500 skin. Want to know why?
Why?
You don't have to buy it.
That's true, but the audacity they had.
No, there's not an audacity. It's like, yeah, we'll throw it out. If somebody wants it, they can have it.
See, this will bring us back full circle, too, going back to microtransactions. How I personally feel about them is I don't care. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. Honestly, I haven't bought anything in a very long time. But at the end of the day, you don't have to buy them. But
Yeah.
also, like, it's not going to change because going full circle, the majority of gamers don't give a crap. They $30, give me the skin, I'm going to keep playing.
Yeah.
And that's why every game from here on out until people start voting with their wallets and their eyeballs will continue to be a live service, free to play, microtransaction filled video games.
So yeah, about that. Not only were people pissed about that, I think they apologized. And also, I don't remember if Faker or whoever I'd have to look that up. But the professional player who made I don't remember if he made a statement disagreeing with it. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to charge that much for one skin. I don't see the value in it. But hey,
some people might.
Yeah, some people might. If they're a big fan.
Here's the equivalent. Ready? Gucci.
Yeah.
Versace, whatever it's called.
Something is only
Versace.
worth what somebody's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if there's people out there willing to pay $500 for a bad skin, why not?
Well, I'm not rich, so
here
I
I'll
don't
show you.
waste
I'll
my
show you
It
one
doesn't
thing.
matter if you're rich or
Skin.
not. I'm just saying, you don't want to buy it, you don't gotta buy it.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
what
even.
it comes down
That's funny
to.
thing. I don't even play League of Legends. Bape,
bathing
freaking
ape?
Bape. Oh my God! Yeah, I would never.
$100 T-shirts.
I think I find this audacious. Audacious, is that the word? I find the audacity of them selling a black T-shirt for $99. Did you see that? It's just a black.
It gets worse, dude.
Oh my, that's horrible, dude. I hate like this.
You want a pair of denim shorts?
Oh my God.
$400
$400 for a college denim shorts.
You want a hat?
It's sold out too.
This is garbage.
Look at this. It's a keychain.
Then again, I don't really care.
Leather keychain.
In my opinion, I just don't think this is worth the money. Just like how I don't think a 5/1.
Right, but this
skin is not
goes
worth
back to
five.
Cole's
Yeah.
Cole's thing is people like it. People will buy it
Yeah.
because they think that it is worth
Then
that
again,
much
if
money
it's
in
not
their
worth
head.
my money, it's not worth my time, and I walk away. There you go.
You're allowed to think something is ridiculously priced because it probably is.
I think there's even worse things.
Well,
that have been.
let's go into specific communities. Cardboard.
Yeah. The value of cardboard is often determined by the rarity of that said cardboard as well as competitive viability.
Classic cars.
Yeah.
Retro and antique stuff. You could show me a clock from 1920 and I'd be like, wow, that's a piece of shit. I don't care about it, but it could be worth $1,000 to somebody else.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of just
Comes down to what
Yeah.
do you want to spend your money
yeah,
on.
it's true. If people don't want to pay $500 for a skin, they won't buy it. They'd be like, no way, Jose. And yeah, I think if that was digital and auctioned off, I would be like, wow, lots of people want that one skin, a code of that one skin.
And the thing is that when it comes down to it, is companies wouldn't be doing microtransactions if they didn't work.
Yeah, it's true. We are the ones who keep saying, man, microtransactions are bad. We don't like them.
I don't know what all this Wii stuff is.
No, I do. Okay,
Well, I bitch
do.
about it too, but here's
Yeah.
the thing, is we're in the minority, and Cole's in the minority, and that makes you
Yeah.
and me even in the more of the minority of the minority. Because I feel like the average minority gamer feels the same way Cole does.
It's
Because
true.
you could be a Gundam in Call of Duty. That's pretty cool.
That's true, but I'm just the old guy who kind of just wants everything in one package and maybe DLC afterwards.
Here's the thing that I find fascinating and also disappointing at the same time, is it's hindered a lot of the customization, but not at the same time. Think about games like Halo or Call of Duty Black Ops back in the day. There was so much customization, and now that customization is locked behind a paywall.
Not Call of Duty. Call of Duty had zero customization.
I guess I'm
back in the day.
specifically talking about the name tag thing with Black Ops, but that's
Oh,
not character
the emblem.
creation.
People,
The emblem creator.
Halo Infinite, that you wanted a specific color, you had to pay money for it. I don't know today, but that back then everyone was kind of complaining.
I mean, you had
about-
your base colors.
Yeah,
for
but
free.
they said the red, the classic red and the red versus blue, you had to pay money for that.
It was
Swear.
specific color combinations. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's freaking weird, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard to
didn't-
explain it.
Yeah, I wanted this outfit and it was $20, and I was like, I don't want to pay $20 for a costume. I'd rather just unlock it through achievements.
See,
like
the worst
good
part
old
about
days.
Halo costumes is like it doesn't matter what freaking color they're gonna be. You're gonna be red or you're gonna be blue when you play the game.
Yeah, that's
Unless
true.
you play
when
free
you're-
for all.
That's the only time you ever get to see your color.
Uh-huh.
They've made it better with Halo Infinite, which is really cool. But anyway, going back to, I feel like customization has been hindered, but also progressed at the same time, because it's like there's so many. Take Fortnite for example, all the crossovers. There's thousands and thousands of skins that you could be, but as far as like being very detailed with your customization that we got back in the day with like games like Halo, I guess specifically, maybe there's some mech games out there, some Gundam games that were really good with customization.
Not that I know that Gundam one didn't have it. That was like a hero shooter.
But even in like Call of Duty, like there's a
Yeah.
lot of
MechWarrior
customization
Online, I
options
think
with your
might
guns
have.
and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot's being generous. I mean, you have the gun skins. That's about it. Unless you're
Yeah.
counting attachments too.
Yeah, I was counting attachments
But I always use attachments not to make my gun look better. I use them just to make them
to
use
perform better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. And Call of Duty guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but they do not sell gun attachments. Like you can get all those but just by playing the game. Like you cannot go into the store and purchase a gun attachment, can you?
I want this.
Go in the store and buy the guns
Blueprints?
and the attachments that you want. Like they'll have a new season come out, and then new gun will come out, and then you can go in the store.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is kind of pay to win.
But it's not like I want this red dot sight. Here's $5. Call of Duty. Give me the red dot sight.
Get like the gun. You don't just get like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't use these attachments on other guns if you buy the gun,
Um.
unless you unlock the attachments normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could like say you unlock the underbarrel flamethrower. You could use other attachments that you've already unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so it's not. I don't think it's similar then.
I will say, like, yeah, like, it's just my mindset of, I want to, like, I know they're free to play, which is why I don't play free to play games as often, because I'm like if I'm going to play a game, I want to buy a game and then have everything in there. I'm that kind of guy.
You know, Thane, for being such a zoomer, it's crazy how much of a boomer you are too.
I don't get.
Well, see, that's the best argument though for microtransactions is free to play games.
Yeah.
It's tough when
Yeah.
you buy a game and then there's also microtransactions on
Yeah.
top. Let's kind of let's go like an adjacent route with this. Let's talk about hero shooters and how sometimes you have to purchase the new heroes. How do we feel about that? I guess not even hero shooters, hero games in general.
Like MOBAs and all
Sure,
that stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Overwatch, Apex, MOBAs,
I think it's fine.
buying the new
It's-
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine if you earn a character. Like, that's been the old days. It's like multiverses. Like, some people are like, yeah, you have to grind to get the and there's been, I don't know what you have to do, but the fact you have to earn points to unlock the character, or you can just buy points, like, you have either way. That's fine. Like, just earning characters, like back when they did it with Smash Brothers. I'm fine with that.
That's the equivalent, in my opinion, of buying the map packs from Call of Duty back in the day. Or, hey, if you play enough, they'll just give you the map packs for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
So do most hero games like that provide a decent way where you don't have to grind for hours and hours and hours to unlock characters? Because I know Apex does a pretty good job.
I'd say, yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part.
I don't think I've ever purchased a character in Apex
remember-
without just playing the game.
I remember one time they did it, which was super, like, everyone was up in arms to, like, the most downvoted Reddit post of all time was the Battlefront 2 before they gave all the characters away for free, because, like, people did the math and you had to have, like, over, like, hundreds of hours for both Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. And then the one of the guys working on it, which resulted in the most downvoted post, was he said, we wanted to give a sense of, like, it was a sense of accomplishment, like unlocking a character in an older game. It's like, it didn't take me hundreds of hours to unlock Mewtwo. That's like, yeah, like, sometimes it's really bad, but, like, most of the time they usually give you a good progress if you're good at the game. Like, they reward skill, and I think to enjoy a game more, you should get better at it. That's my opinion too. What, you don't believe games should be easy? Not all of them. That's my stance on it.
So microtransactions are good. We heard it from the horse's mouth.
Not. I'm gonna say.
Here's the thing. Let me pose something for you, because this is how I see microtransactions, and obviously it works. If your game is good, people are willing to give you money.
Make a good game.
Yeah.
Make a good game,
make a
and
good
people
game.
will give you money. Whether it's a free to play with microtransactions, or they purchase it straight up, or even I don't know how many games go the subscription model. Probably just like World of Warcraft, like those giant MMOs.
Well, I'd argue that battle passes are like a subscription model.
Yeah.
They're the modern version of it.
Yeah, like, and if you play the game enough, you don't have to do the subscription. If enough points will carry out, you could be able to buy the next one, just like what Fortnite does.
But I guess the difference I see between that and like subscribing to play WoW is you don't have to. To play WoW, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, that's
what
why I
I
call
see
it
is
the
different.
modern version.
I
Because like
see.
the
Yeah.
old subscription model is just that. It's old. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
games that come out nowadays that do that.
Yeah, like games like
FF14
WoW,
did it.
Final Fantasy 14. It's 14 actually. 11 and 14.
I said
do that both.
14.
Oh, you did? I thought you said 13. Okay.
I said 14.
RuneScape still does it.
So what are your guys'... I've never actually, by the way, ever paid for a subscription game like that. The only thing that I've done close enough to that is, I guess, Game Pass. But that's different
That's a
in my
service.
opinion.
That's
yeah.
like a game. That's
Well,
like
I would
a,
argue that WoW's a service.
I'd argue WoW is a service.
Yeah, it's a games as a service technically.
You're you're paying for the servers to
The
stay up
difference
more or
is that
less.
the difference is that you're playing like for many games, like it's a streaming service.
So how do you guys feel about games like MMOs that you pay for? Like, how do you guys feel about the subscription-based service?
I'm fine.
I've never gotten into a game, and when I see that, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it kind of puts me off. But, like, if I really got into a game, I'd be willing to pay money. It depends on if you're willing to pay money.
Yeah, here's my semi-paralleled version of that is Minecraft Realms. I've started several realms where I've paid for to play with my buddies. That's a subscription service.
That is true. That is a subscription model.
You're
they
doing
do.
that to pay to keep the server up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to, because like when you start a normal server, you have to be in there. You have to be the main player because you're the server host.
And that's the same with World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
You pay to keep the servers up.
Yeah.
Right.
If people aren't subscribing, then the servers go down. It's the same thing.
So
Yeah.
to bring this like conversation full circle and kind of wrap it up is the question I want to pose to you guys is, what is your preferred method of video game monetization?
Skins and stuff.
So free to
I say
play
just
skins.
cosmetics.
Yeah. Because like, yeah, I want to help them keep the servers up by giving them money, but I want something out of it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to look like a Gundam. I want my Asian e-boy to dress up as Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy. You know, I want all of these things.
I really liked Helldivers too, and so I was like, I really like this. I'm gonna buy the $20 Super Citizen Pack.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Is Helldivers was a good, I guess, is a good game that you liked it enough to
Yeah.
where you not only bought the game, but you gave them more money.
Yeah. I don't do it often for games because usually I don't stick around for games that long very often. But like, I think
So what's your preferred method then? So Cole prefers the microtransactions.
I'd say if it's just cosmetic, just optional, not impeding your progress at all, I think it's fine. It can exist.
What's your preferred? Like, my preferred is I just want to buy a game straight up. Like,
oh yeah, like
60, give me. I'll pay $60
buy a
bucks.
game.
I want the game.
Buy a
But
game.
you don't get. But if you do that, you can expect not to get anything else.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but if I get everything that's advertised and whatever they keep hidden, I like that. I liked if I pay $70 for a new game.
So then here's the question. Thane can't really answer this because he doesn't play free to play games. But like, let's say at the height of you playing Apex and Fortnite and stuff, Sky, instead of being at free to play, every year you have to spend $60 on Fortnite 1, Fortnite 2, Fortnite 3,
Oh,
or
buying
Apex
the
1,
game?
Apex 2,
Yeah.
Apex 3.
Oh, like Splatoon. Like, oh hey, we got Splatoon 3 coming out. Everyone's gonna integrate to Splatoon 3.
So that's different.
I
That's
get
an
it.
actual.
I guess
that's
it would
an
just
actual
it
new
would be
game.
like
Yeah.
the equivalent of what Call of Duty is.
Sure.
You have to buy the new Call of Duty every year.
So you're okay with that?
No, I mean based upon my history of playing those types of games, Call of Duty, I skipped out for a very long time.
Yeah. So then I would argue that, yeah, wanting to buy the full game straight up is, I mean, sure, it's fine, but if you're doing that, you can assume to get a bunch of sequels of the same stuff instead of just not have to pay for it and just support them here and there.
And I think this boils down to the type of game. Like, online,
obviously, yeah.
And that's kind of where I was trying to get at with all of this.
If it's an RPG, like, say, Mass Effect from BioWare, and I bought the first 3 games.
But hey, it works. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, those are RPGs that are free to play. So it actually,
but then,
think about it, the model works.
Here out comes Mass Effect Andromeda. People hated that game. It's like, oh, I wasted my money. I'm not supporting these guys anymore. It works until it doesn't.
And like, it's the same. I think like that works the same way with like a free to play game.
Yeah. So it's like bought.
If they release a character and then people are like, bro, this game sucks now. We're not buying your character. Nobody buys the new character.
Right. So that goes back to
it's the same thing.
How I was saying, like, if you want money, make a good game, and gamers will give you money.
So I guess really it's just the same thing. It's just a slightly different avenue.
Yeah.
And the avenue that is nowadays, the microtransaction avenue, is just if you want to be a whale and spend more money on it, you sure can. But if you want to be the normal gamer to spend $60 a year on your Call of Duty every year or your Genshin Impact every year, you sure can. And we'll be happy to take your money. And then you have the extra gamer that it's honestly, okay, I'm sold. Microtransactions are the freaking future. Holy crap. They're so good. Because then there's some people that don't put money into the game at all, but they're still able to play the game.
Yeah, they're still able to play.
They can actually play, even though they haven't put a dime into it. And then you have the normal people that'll just put like $60 a year into it because that's what they would have normally put into a video game. And then the whales are able to have fun too. You get the full spectrum with it. Microtransactions are great. I blew my mind right there. Genshin Impact's the best video game ever created. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, they work. They work for a plethora of reasons. I think Cole just gave the best arguments for microtransactions. It's, once again, still not my preferred method, but I'm also drifting from my past of all of the multiplayer games that like Fortnite. I used to play a ton of Apex. I used to play a ton of, and back in the day, I loved it. It's like, oh, this game's free, but I can give them money if I want. So I'm definitely phasing out of that, I guess.
I do have one final statement about this. And while I said all this stuff about microtransactions, I still don't want to play a microtransaction JRPG, for example. Right. Because I've tried Honkai Star Rail. I don't give a crap about the story. And that's why I play JRPGs, is because I like the story. And if they're not going to give me a good story, why the freak would I play your game?
Yeah, also,
Hoyoverse, or
also like, hey, you want to draw for this powerful character, you got to get star packs.
That's fine. That's
rare.
completely fine. I don't give a crap. I just got done talking about that. You put $60 in, you might get it. If you don't get it, then in a year, they're going to give it to you for free anyway in an event. That's how these games work. You'll always be able to get all this stuff for free eventually. Because after they've sold out, I'm grabbing my Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the table. After they've made their money off of it, they're going to reprint them into death and give everybody an option to get them for free and cheap. So you put your $60 in a year, you'll eventually get everything you'd ever want out of that game. Because they know they're not going to make more money off of it. They've made their money. They're ready to squeeze out the tiny little dimes out of people and give it to them like for a deal, like a 90% off, and then they continue on.
Well, usually the difference between free to play and full package games, in my opinion, is quality.
Yeah, and that's the way it feels, and that's the problem. If free to play games get the quality of a fully priced game, I will switch 100%. If Atlas is making Persona 6 and it actually feels like I'm playing Persona 5 quality wise, but it's a gacha game, I'm fine with that. I'm completely
I'd say
okay
that too.
With that.
If it was better, like personally, I'm gonna be probably gonna be stuck in my old ways, but like, hey, if they can convince me, they can convince me.
I think it'll get
otherwise.
There. I think it will get there, and I guess I'm basing that off of the fact of how incredibly popular mobile games are in Asian countries, which I feel like a lot of those Asian gamers make a lot of banger JRPGs. Well, I guess RPGs. Would you call it a CRPG if it comes from China?
No, CRPG's a computer RPG.
Okay.
They already took that.
I guess
Turn-based RPG.
I haven't
or
played
open world RPG.
like
A CHRPG.
I've
There
played
you go.
JRPGs. I've played Lies of P, which I believe wasn't that a Korean studio?
Korean.
Push and
A
P.
KRPG.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I hear so many people bitch about microtransactions. I'm more leaning towards Cole on the whole thing. I think it's really good. Well, the thing is I think it's good and bad for gamers as a whole. But I think for the vast majority, microtransactions are a good thing.
Once again, another common cold W to end the podcast episode, everybody. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of the Talking Rad podcast. I'm just going to just tug myself in the corner. Let
He's
these
Cliffy
guys
Bean,
finish
bro.
it. I'll let these guys finish the show.
Thane, don't let him Cliffy B all over us.
Tug, tug, tug.
Not enough titties. Microtransactions bad.
Oh, you're not playing the right games then.
I know, I'm not.
Keep it rad.
You're
Bye,
rad.
everybody. Have a good one.